I often find myself skeptical. How dare I walk around with confidence? How dare I sway my shoulders, stick out my chest when I walk? I haven't achieved anything substantial yet. I feel so average and mediocre. We earn confidence, right? Then what if I haven't earned it by my own judgment, by my own expectation? Are my standards too high, or do I simply do not deserve that confidence? We will always look for evidence to prove the validity of our self-image, because otherwise we will be letting ourselves fall into blind delusion. Who wants to be an imposter of his own character? I'm Vernon and I think a lot. If you intend to live a meaningful and fulfilling life, work on your mental health, find people that are just like you, conscientious, grateful, spiritual, ambitious, and filled with hope. Subscribe for more videos like this. We are afraid of being called out for not deserving how we act, because that will mean that we are a walking lie, an imposter, someone to be rejected, and that's scary to confront. In the past, when I was really into the self-improvement stuff, I looked a lot into my mental health, I evaluated a lot, I challenged myself a lot to seek for deliberate discomfort and approach people, and all that self-investment helped me develop a very high level of confidence. But recently it all crashed because I was comparing myself with people on social media, people my age who are making so much money, who are so popular. They have so much clout and fame, they have such great physiques, they speak so well, and I'm just thinking, goddamn, I really don't deserve to feel this good about myself. I started getting afraid of meeting girls in person because I didn't want them to be disappointed with me not being this ridiculously high status and confident and cool guy and attractive guy. I didn't want to disappoint them, so I would just autistically text them and then never bring it anywhere. I put my phone away and I took some time to redefine what ego, self-image, and confidence meant to me. I think it looks something like this. Confidence, self-image, and ego is this gap between the two, this discrepancy. In a perfect world, confidence would be exactly what we deserve, where we are actually at in life. Self-image would be how we see ourselves, our perception of our reality, our perception of what we deserve. If you're incredibly competitive and ambitious, imagining where you are right now, exactly, will make you feel really not special, because you realize how truly inadequate you are compared to those people who are at the top. And I'm not saying you should compare to them, but people who are incredibly competitive and ambitious really can't help themselves. Visualizations, affirmation, manifestation, all that horseshit works because it helps us develop a heightened sense of self-image. And I think how we see ourselves correlates to how we behave, and therefore how we make decisions. According to our self-image, how we see ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, we will follow suit with our attitude, how we behave, how we carry ourselves. And because the affirmations and the manifestations help us increase this ego gap, we tend to try to behave like that higher perceived self-image, which means we're not only willing to seek, but also capture more opportunity. So confidence and ego can actually be a ridiculously good leverage, but there are consequences. If you're a conscientious person, you're going to evaluate, you're going to look at where you're at, you're going to look at how you feel about yourself very often, because you want to be self-aware, and you often can't help yourself but be overly self-aware. And then we realize that, oh fuck, how dare I be more vocal? I know nothing compared to this person, that person. How dare I keep injecting myself into conversation? What I say isn't even that important. We start to question all these things. Who are we to expect people to care? So sometimes we crash into this massive heap of imposter syndrome. And even though we are aware of it, we can't help but just sink into it. Because if we genuinely don't feel authentic and we genuinely don't like where we are at right now, how can we carry ourselves to a high standard? Because in terms of achievement, we haven't hit that high standard yet, in our own judgment at least. And maybe confidence isn't a personality trait. You can't just point at one person and go, oh, he's a confident type of person. Maybe we can only say, oh, he's confident right now. And if confidence is the evidence of our self-image, what if our self-image changes? What if our standards raise? What if we slowly see ourselves as higher and higher and realize that the discrepancy is humongous? Then we'll start to question ourselves. We'll start to wonder if we really do deserve that level of self-image. And then our self-image and confidence will both crash. And therefore, we won't always feel confident. So now what? Are we supposed to nerf ourselves until we hit our desired goals and aspirations and achieve things? Or are we supposed to delude ourselves to continue to feel confident so that we can experience the benefits confidence gives us. And is confidence supposed to be completely independent from what other people have achieved? Like, do we only have to get better than ourselves? Because if we only focus on being better than yesterday, the improvements made can be so freaking minute and we'll be satisfied with it, and it doesn't change anything. And we will realize that it doesn't change anything. For example, oh, let me just be better than yesterday and I'm satisfied. So today you read one word, and then tomorrow you read 2 words, and then the next day you read 3 words. We only know that that level of progressive overload is so minute and trash because we compare it to others. So achievements and how we think of ourselves will be affected by what other people think, because that's just how it works. After thinking about this more deeply and having conversations with people, these are the points I collected. Nobody in the world has a deserved level of confidence, because how do you even measure that shit? There is always going to be a discrepancy. You will never completely lose your ego. Ego is what keeps us safe. It's necessary. If you go from really wealthy to broke because a market crash or something that you weren't in control of, right? Does that mean you should kill yourself and you're unworthy and you don't deserve confidence and you're an absolute trash can? No. And that's direct evidence that confidence isn't directly independent of your achievements. Humility in progress in the moment, and as much ego as you can in your desire. Being humble doesn't make you not confident. And being humble is safe, it's easy, it's the most productive thing you can do at any moment. Confidence is a result of your self-respect, your habits, the decisions you make, your self-investment, the sacrifices you made for yourself. That's how your confidence becomes more and more robust. Even though I believe that it will still crash now and then, it will dip. You're not gonna have like a constant state of, oh, I'm this, I'm cool like that, I'm Batman. You're not gonna have that constant stream of confidence. It's gonna fluctuate, and that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly okay. You just have to have the mindfulness. You gotta meditate on it and bring yourself back to the current moment. Oh well, I don't feel confident today, but I'm still gonna go talk to them because I know that that will be what I regret the least, and I know that that's what I'll come back to at the end of the day. You know why? Because I value relationships. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself over a long period of time. I'm not gonna lie to you, I fapped this morning because I couldn't fucking focus. Alright, and what does that do to your confidence? You break a promise to yourself, now I feel like shit. Nobody cares about the reason for your confidence. Nobody cares whether you deserve it. Unless you're a pompous bastard, noisy ass, but that's not even confidence anymore if you're very vocal about your achievements and shit. That's boisterous arrogance. Confidence is an amazing leverage, so just use it anyway. That's why people always tell you to fake it till you make it. It kinda works. Ideally, you want to work on your mental health and actually have the self-respect and the self-esteem to be comfortable at where you are at. Sure, there might be 1 in 5 quintillion people who will come and attack you that you don't deserve your confidence and you're a pompous fool, but you have to keep in mind that person's confidence and where he's actually at is completely off the charts, not aligned. Because it will never be, and there's no such thing as aligning confidence to your achievements and what you actually are. And it's good that you looked at your results and tried to relate it to your confidence, because when you truly want something, you want to make sure that you're making actual, real, tangible progress towards that goal. So because you care about it so much, you're gonna try to self-sabotage to make yourself even more motivated to chase it. You're dissatisfied with just knowing you're trying. You want to actually be making progress. You want to actually achieve the desired outcome. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna punch yourself. You're gonna destroy your own confidence just to kind of whack yourself in the right direction. But that is actually just making yourself worse, because confidence is a good leverage. You need to keep it, not beat it out of yourself. So hold on to it. And if you find yourself trying to sabotage yourself again, just ignore it. Mindfulness. Bring your consciousness back into the present moment, you know. Like kind of, fuck you, I want to be confident. Pah! And then you're confident. Confidence will give you so much more opportunity. Let your self-image come from your perceived trajectory. There will always be a discrepancy between your self-image and where you're actually at. And that self-image might even be behind. Like, you might see yourself worse than where you're actually at, just because. Understand there's always going to be a gap. But you know what benefits you the most? If your self-image is ahead of where you're at. You know why? Because you start acting like you're ahead. And when you act like you're ahead, what does that do? You make better decisions. You put yourself out there more. You capture opportunity more. You are willing to see the world more, make new relationships more. Everything is better. So it's okay to have ego. Put your self-image in front of where you are at. It's okay. it's a win. And now that you're aware that you have ego, you can keep that in check. So you are completely winning. You are literally him. For example, if you put a lot of work into your fitness, your fashion, your physical appearance, and you are making evident progress, you're going to see yourself as more attractive than you actually are, because that is your perceived outcome. That is where you're headed towards. So when you look in the mirror, you're proud. You've invested in yourself. You look slightly better than before, maybe not the perfect amount of better. And because your self-image increases from this self-investment in your attractiveness, you're going to have faith that you're heading towards a desired outcome, because you made progress in that direction. And because you have faith that you're heading in that desired outcome, looking good becomes part of your identity. So what you're going to do, you're going to protect that, and you're going to let it seep into how you behave, and you're going to start acting in a more seductive manner. You're going to be willing to look into their eyes more and stick out your chest more, and then you become even more attractive, and then you are more willing to put in the work into your physical appearance. Everyone deserves to be confident, and to reap its benefits, we cannot afford to fall behind in that. Stick your chest out anyway, because the alternative is to be invisible, average, mediocre, unseen, and it's perfectly normal to question yourself. Since we're conscientious people who want to put in effort into their lives, of course we don't want to be lying to ourselves. Jordan Peterson states that you can tell whether something you say is authentic or not by sensing whether it makes you feel weak or strong. If we are feeling terrible, let's challenge our ego. Perhaps we don't think we are behaving authentically, so be confident. You deserve it. My parents deserve their son to be viewed highly. That's why I'm going to be confident. And I'm also going to raise my competence straight through the roof. I'm going to keep putting in effort into myself so that I have faith that I'm heading towards that perceived desired outcome, and that allows me to have a decently high self-image. Take care of yourself. Subscribe for more videos like these. Good luck. I love you. It's a better world.